I was rooting for Brian. I was rooting for Brian so hard.
Dude, he was fucking chewing on
you. He was. Dude, he played that game too. Was the best he ever played.
Yeah, no, for real.
My spacing was so fucking good. That's it.
Yeah, that game too was pretty fucking fire. Like he started off with like a 0 to death, and I was like, oh wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Real shit though.
Dude, I did a drill and he hit drill with back air and beat it from above.
Yeah.
He was below me and he spaced out back air to do drill.
That's pretty impressive. All right, you hopping on?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. All
right. So I get.
This quarter, yeah. Does he think so? It might be 2 on his favor. I don't remember when the quarter technically started.
You and who?
Me and Rom.
Oh, okay.
I execution tested myself and I lost.
Oh, were you trying to do power shield lasers?
Yes, and I struck him to FD.
Don't take him to FD.
I really hard lost. Well, usually I'm comfortable in it, but yeah, no, the way I play neutral was on that stage was also like power shield lasers, and I just wasn't. So, anyways, all right, on to this set. BMOHC's really fucking good.
All right, so something I just noticed about you and Joe when you play this matchup.
Okay.
It feels desperate.
Yes.
You guys feel desperate.
At least from my perspective, I'd say that's absolutely true.
Okay.
Part of that is there's this narrative that we've kind of been taught. Partially by just playing the matchup, but also from talking with like higher level Marths like Nagy and stuff. And because it's really hard to get a kill confirmer and edge guard on Sheik. Mm-hmm. Like, it's harder than most characters. I should preface. Like, edgeguarding Sheik is not easy as Marth.
Yeah, for some fun, every other character, edgeguard Sheik's so easy.
It's free.
And then fucking Marth just can't do it. It's so funny.
Well, it's because the problem is that the way you have to... So, like, the general flow chart... Oh, that's not good. That was definitely supposed to be a double jump.
So you're thinking about game 2 here?
Yeah, legitimately.
It was looking good until then.
Yeah.
But damn.
Oh, killed!
So, I think if you guys are gonna be throwing out these down smashes, which I like.
You have to know how to do them.
You gotta like really practice them because that spacing ain't easy. The only Marth I've ever met that can hit that spacing
is Ultimate Scout. Yep.
Which makes actually a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Considering he's been playing the game for like 20 years. All right.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so if you're Joe, you're thinking about game 1 right now.
Yeah.
You're thinking about how do I gimp this fucking character, and then you realize you can't because you're Marth against Sheik.
I would say you can't gimp Sheik, but one of the things that you can do against BMOHC specifically is tech chase him.
Oh, he almost had it.
Yeah. Okay. He's going to.
Dude, this is the Ultimate Scout Slayer coming in.
Yeah, it legitimately. I mean, he did beat Tim Sheik in that game. That's a really weird choice. Oh, he doesn't have a jump. Run off fair? Nah. Okay. That's supposed to be a dare.
All right, yeah, you're happy with
weak
that.
hit, strong. That's gonna kill
that.
Yeah. All right. So there's a few things a lot of stuff happens, so it's kind of hard to keep up. But there's a few things specifically I want to mention, and I want to see adapted.
All right, lay it on me.
The primary thing is that I think this is a pretty common trait against Marth and just mid to low level players in general, is that we try to extend our combos too far. And very specifically on that last stock, I noticed that. Because he started a combo and then tried to go... Basically, he was in the spacing he is like right now in that corner area and tried to go for like a drift forward fair, and then he just lost stage position.
Yeah. What do you think about these down tilts of the ledge?
It's legitimately like your best strategy. Like it's dumb, but in that situation, you pretty much just have to execution test them. Like, okay, so you'll see this edge guard, right? This is pretty much the rinse repeat. Is that you have to grab a ledge, force them to up B onto stage, or they do the mix up and go for the ledge and they get edge hogged. And then you pretty much have to space a smash attack and rinse repeat the process.
I think you can do a lot more nuanced stuff than that.
Yeah, that's the
points. You can start mixing in like down smash into like stuff, or like I think reverse up B seems pretty good, especially when they go like they're right there when they're near the ledge.
Right. So
not in that situation because like Joe wasn't like he didn't have time to put.
Yeah, but part of the mix up definitely is in what move you decide to try and hit them with once they've landed on stage. But something else that you can do is I was actually experimenting with this earlier. Is that I love this game. You can either choose, you can try and run off fair, if they're trying to like go for the ledge, or you can grab ledge, do the double jump back air to catch their spacing. Those are pretty much your only options. But all right, but as we're talking about this, Joe's pulled ahead.
Yeah, Joe's I don't know what adaptations he wanted Joe to make, but he's definitely made some.
Yeah. So I'd say primarily part of it is definitely stage, because I think BMOHC, to quote Nagy, there's two types of Sheiks. There's grabby Marths. Yeah, there's two types of Sheik. There's grabby Sheiks and there's scrappy Sheiks.
Yeah, BMOHC's a scrapper.
He's absolutely a scrapper.
Yeah, I can tell you that much.
And Yoshi's is definitely better against, which it doesn't make sense because it's smaller stage, but if I remember what Zach told me correctly, it has to do with the fact that like your moves are so much better at spacing and you have more opportunity to just get stray hits on them.
Yeah.
That it's much better.
It's easier to out-scrap them on
right.
the stage.
And you don't need to worry.
You can beat them at their own game.
Right. And you don't really need to worry about the footsies as much because they're not going for that.
Speaking of people that are scrappers and not grabbers, that is Joe.
Yes.
Which is probably why he struggles with Sheik a lot, because I feel like the movement-heavy, like grabby, down-tilting Marth, like especially Zach's playstyle, like works really well against that.
Yeah, and something to note as well is that Zach specifically like adapted his game style to do that. Like he was not that type of person originally.
He hated Sheik.
Yeah.
He hated Sheik so much. I remember the first Melee games, he like triple money matched the Sheik player and lost all 3 times.
Yep, that sounds about right. But yeah, so if you ever hear Marth talk about Falcon versus Sheik, that can pretty much, they're more or less the same character, except one runs at you and the other waits for you to run yourself out.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I'd say Joe's playstyle of the more, like, spacing, like, going for aerials, trying to space things.
Works
like,
really well against Falcon.
It works really well against Falcon because they pretty much just have to, approach an area or, like, side me.
Yeah.
But that works really horribly against Sheik because Sheik is very specifically looking for you to whiff an aerial so she can run in or get under you and, like, down smash or grab or F tilt.
Just any of her A moves.
Right.
All of Sheik's A moves are pretty good, except for forward smash.
And yeah, even then forward smash can throw you off.
Forward smash always works, but it's never good.
Yeah. So this is a thing.
That's not gonna work.
Yeah. No, you can't do that. You got to grab ledge in that situation.
I feel like there's definitely some backers that could happen on the Marth edge guarding.
Yeah. That's a thing you like. There's stuff you need to threaten, but you don't always need to do. So, like, I personally really value either grabbing the ledge or doing that, like, that first jump out backwards and kind of follow their drift. That can, like, you gotta scare them. Because otherwise they're just gonna recover for free.
I mean, you always gotta put the fear in their hearts.
Exactly. Alright, good slide off tech.
Down air. He teched and ledge canceled down air to grab ledge.
Yeah.
Just to swag on it.
Pretty good.
Just to say, hey, I might be losing this game right now, but do you see that?
Yeah.
Nice needles.
Something else I want to point out about this matchup. I'm literally like thinking about all this stuff like as we're watching it.
Go for it.
So
you're definitely the matchup guru. I'm just here to. I'm the dumb one. You're the toad.
I wouldn't.
I'm Scar.
Okay, I'll take it. But so talking about that, we were talking about like the scrappy versus like grabby, and how both of them are scrappers. I think in that situation, Sheik wins when they're both scrappers. So I really want to see Joe try and slow the gameplay down. Like
what you did against BMOHC, like beginning of game 2 and like near the end of game 2 was like super good.
You
were like kind of like it felt like you were like would have won.
Yeah.
You like played that game plan the whole time and like just did it a little better. It wasn't quite there. It needed like a little bit more.
Yeah, that was
more elbow grease on it.
That was definitely one of the things that like that's part of the reason why I wanted that set on stream, just because.
Look at it.
I have a problem, especially against Sheik, of just kind of abandoning my game plan.
Yeah, no, you looked like your game plan was pretty solid.
But yeah.
Your issue, I felt like, was more not sticking to it.
Right. That's what I mean. So
also, Scar, if you're watching, I didn't mean you were stupid. I just meant like you were the hype commentator and Toph was the analyst.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bobby.
I think he knows.
I I think I'm gonna get tweeted out by Scar. I know he watches our stream every week.
If you get subtweeted by Bobby Scar, that would be fucking hilarious.
That'd be great. It's at Limecat. please don't subtweet me.
But yeah, so part of that game plan that I was implementing is that you just have to, like, because what Sheik wants to do overall is figure out the ways that you like to get hits.
Stop doing that F smash.
Yeah.
You guys gonna stop doing that? Like on this stage, right? It's too far. She's just gonna go back. You guys need to like do. I don't know. I don't know what else you do. Sorry to interrupt.
I don't know if I have the answer, but no, that trust me. Point out things when you want. But yeah, so the thing is that Sheik's entire game plan, especially against Marth, and part of the reason why it works so well is that she basically just more or less sits there and throws out either needles or like tilts and stuff, and tries to figure out how you react to it. And based off of that, they'll typically mix up their approach options.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you don't give them the opportunity to figure out how you like to go in, by either, you know, taking it slow and just kind of sitting there and either doing like late aerials or like late short hop aerials in place or like down tilting and stuff, you kind of have to force them to do the mix up. And Sheik is worse in that mix up situation, but you have to be really patient. Mm-hmm. And you really if you're going for like aerial stuff especially, like you got to be really careful, otherwise you're just gonna miss it. Up tilt probably would have worked there. I'm not sure, but I think it would have worked and it would have killed. Yep. Tilt. He heard me. He 100% heard me. Although, to be fair, S-Smash also would have worked in that situation.
Yeah, I'm just living in the ultimate timeline where Joe won that game 1. I feel like the set looks a lot different.
Yeah.
I feel like that really set the pace of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, yeah, down throw? Yeah, you can't really... You really want that tipper there, but they're not going to give it to you.
Yeah, I actually... Like, oh, that was a really good down tilt by Sheik.
Oh no!
All right,
he got nared.
He's on the ropes, and yeah, he doesn't have a jump. So, all right. You know, we've been talking about this from the Marth perspective the whole time, which
that's what you do. You always talk about it from the perspective from the character that people like more.
That's fair.
Have you ever heard a commentator talk about something from the Puff or Ice Climber's perspective?
If it's Puff Ices, yes.
When it's Puff Ices, what do they talk about?
They're just like, yeah, no, Puff can just kind of like, you know, do this. All right. Oh, he could have. That
would have been so cool that worked. But
yeah,
but
that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
All right, 3-1.
Kind of crumbled there. You got that feeling where you couldn't